Okay, my name is Mike. I'm your host for the FBTV podcast. We get together a couple of times a week. We try to. Wednesday and Saturday. I'm the lead consultant at Taltoa. If you're thinking about getting into the industry, freight broker agent, you're looking to start out as an agent, job placement, whatever, yeah, we have opportunities for you. We are a training and consulting firm. We have packages available that you can check into that include essential training for working day-to-day as a freight broker agent. We go through everything with you, how to find potential customers, how to make your sales calls, what to say, how to respond, how to calculate rates, how to negotiate, how to find everything from getting the load all the way through delivery and the load. We cover all that, including legal and contracts in the essential training. Once you finish your training, you can enter our mentorship program. That's where you can begin your operation, your broker operation, as a freight broker agent through us, so we can oversee everything you're doing, making sure you're doing it right, answer any questions, making sure you're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. And you can begin your broker operation where you can get out there and start gaining the experience, building that customer base. And you're even paid a standard commission, just like any other freight broker agent. If you move a load while in the mentorship program, you're going to be paid a commission. Standard commission in the mentorship program, 60% of the profit on the load. We call it the load net, difference between what the customer paid you to move a load and what you paid the truck. So if you had a load the customer was paying $3,000 on, you found a truck and negotiated with the trucking company agreed to move the load for $2,500, you'd have a $500 net of profit on that load. If it was your load, your commission would be 60% of that net. So your commission would be $300. But anyway, check it out at our website. All the information's there, taltoa.com. If you have any questions about any of the packages available, feel free to call me, 479-668-0838. Matter of fact, right there, I was going to say it's always the opposite. I can never remember that. Anyway, neither here nor there. Okay, the topic of the day, new brokers trying to find shippers. Going to keep this kind of anonymous, but someone wrote in, I'm a new broker and I'm trying to find shippers. I just started my career and building my book of business seems to be the hardest thing to do, especially since I'm calling all sorts of companies. And all I'm hearing is we don't need the help. We have our own trucks, or my personal favorite, don't call back. Click. I'm starting to stress out to the max. Anything you can tell me will help. All right. I get it. Yeah, this is part of the startup period. This is the period that usually a lot of new brokers wash out because they don't give themselves enough time, or they're not prospecting correctly. We call it prospecting. That prospecting is the act of finding potential customers that will use you as one of their brokers to make their loads available to you. And you can work those loads in hopes of getting a truck. You're doing the right thing making the sales calls. You got to continue to do that. Now, my one recommendation is do it after lunch. Got to think about this. If you think about it, honestly, mornings are the busiest time of day for a potential customer, a shipper. That's when they have all types of logistical issues going on. All right. They got trucks coming in, loads going out. They just don't have time to take a sales call. And at this point, that's what you are to that potential customer, is a salesperson. All right. They go to lunch, they come back after lunch, they got a couple of 2, 3, 4 hours in the afternoon, they got time to talk to you. So there's one thing. Okay, you can do it a little bit different. Now, I don't know what your pitch is, but keep it simple. Man, if you're calling them, you're going through, a 10-minute spiel, you're doing what, I've seen a lot of these videos do. Hey, how many loads you got a day? How many a week? Blah, 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 hey, la, 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 la. Next thing you know, you've got a 20-minute interview going on. These shippers don't have time for that. They don't have time for that. Short, sweet, to the point. Get in, get out. Practice it. Make it simple. Keep it simple. The KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid. All right? Hey, this is Mike with Taltoa listening. Trucks in the area all the time. Like to see I can, get set up with you to help you get trucks. You know, something simple. Something simple. All you're trying to do is get in the door. You're wanting them to say, yeah, send me your info. And your info, obviously, is going to be your shipper packet. All the information they need from you to be able to start using you as one of their brokers. That's all your goal is at this point, to get in the door. Once you're in the door, guess what? You're no longer a salesperson to that shipper. Now you're part of their transportation team. Now you've got carte blanche. You can call them any time of the day you want. Morning, noon, afternoon, whatever. That's what you got to do. You got to get in the door, because until you get in the door, you have no way of building the relationship. Now, here's the other thing. I've talked about this before. And matter of fact, I was talking to a client earlier today, having the same issue that a lot of new brokers they trip up on. You get a customer, they make a load or two available to you, and the next thing you do, you're not making sales calls anymore. You're focused on trying to find a truck to move that 1 or 2 loads. And guess what? 4 or 5 o'clock comes around, you've been working on trying to find a truck for those 1 or 2 loads for 4 or 5 hours and nothing, and now you're totally heartbroken. You just knew you were going to make money. And now you've wasted the whole day trying to find a truck to move a load that couldn't move. You couldn't move anyway. Think about that a minute. You're a brand new broker working with that customer. They've got other brokers and trucking companies they work with on a regular basis. So they may, they set up with you. Here, I've got a couple of loads. Those are not going to be the easiest loads of the day. Matter of fact, if they know they got loads that are going to be simple to move, they're going to make those loads available to one of the vendors, be it trucking company or brokers that they have a tight relationship with. They will reward them with the easy loads. You know what I mean? You got to work your way up to that. That's what I'm getting at. You got to work your way up to that. You got to work your way up to, becoming one of their favorite vendors, and that comes from time. Building that relationship. Building a relationship is not difficult. It's just like you would in real life. Be friendly. Take an interest in what they do in their life. Be personal. Make it personal. Your goal is to get as many customers as you possibly can, because from your customers, they will make their loads available to you. The more loads you have available, the more loads you're going to be able to put on the load board. The more loads you have on the load board, the more you're going to be able to work your way out of that startup period sooner rather than later. Because as you begin posting loads, some loads are going to make your phone ring off the hook. Trucking companies calling you. Other loads you're going to post, crickets, man, nobody calls you. By knowing what loads trucking companies are calling you about, that's going to allow you the opportunity to start focusing on what makes you money. See what I mean? When you're able to do that, that's when you're going to be able to start working your way out of that startup period. So to this individual trying to get shippers, you're doing the right thing. All right? Make the calls. Keep making them. How many calls a day? A couple of hundred. Seriously. I know people say, nah, that's too bad. If you don't make the calls, you're not going to get a customer. No customer, no loads. No loads. You're not even out of the gate. And that's where a lot of brokers fail, especially new ones. They just fail to make the calls. And as far as your pitch goes, your script, whatever you're using, honestly, 10 to 15 seconds, that's all you need. Seriously. Write a script, 10 to 15 seconds. That's it. 10 to 15 second script. Practice it out loud over and over and over again until it rolls off your tongue. You don't even have to think about it. When it gets to that point, it's going to start taking on your personality. All right? So it's when you start making the calls, it's going to sound like you're having a conversation rather than trying to sell somebody something. See what I mean? Anyway, I hope that helps. I see this all the time. people get discouraged right there during that startup period, and they give it all up. Spent the money or whatever to get their broker license or go through training or whatever it may be, and they quit. They give up before they start making money. That's the thing about being a broker. If you're going to get into this industry, and people always ask, how long before I start making money? Hey, nobody knows. And if anybody tries to tell you they know, run. Because it all boils down to you, what you do. As a freight broker, as a freight broker agent, you're an independent contractor. Bottom line. Meaning it's your business. Even as a freight broker agent, you're an independent contractor. If you're the freight broker with the license, it's your company. It will fail or it will succeed through your efforts. So think about that. You got to be willing to put in the time, put in the work that's going to take to succeed.